Okay, let's look at one thing from every Premier League side that every Premier League side should do. One thing every Premier League side shouldn't do, and their most surprising player. We'll go from the bottom up. Or should we go in alphabetical order? Let's go from the bottom up. So Sheffield United, alright? We'll start with them. One thing that Sheffield United should not do, is sack Chris Wilder. You're bottom of the league without a win, alright? But, you know your manager's capable of turning it around. And sacking a manager who has guided you to the Premier League, it's only going to lower your morale, isn't it, for the season, let's be honest. But one thing Sheffield United should do is invest in some defensive reinforcements. And maybe even another striker as well. They need new players. They need better players because the players that they've got are not performing. I don't really think Sheffield United will turn it around fully. But let's hope that they get their first win before they reach halfway through the season. 19 is West Brom. One thing they should do, is keep Dara O'Shea at centre half. Because he's been incredible. He has been very, very, very incredible. But one thing that they should not do, is sack Sam Allardyce later on in the season if things don't turn around, like they did, for some reason, to Slaven Bilic. I have absolutely no idea to this day why they sacked Slaven Bilic after that draw against Man City. That's that was ridiculous. And Sam Allardyce gets a draw against Liverpool. He doesn't get sacked. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So one thing that they should not do now is sack another manager. One player from West Brom that's really surprised me is Semi Ajayi. Literally about 2 years ago, he was playing low-level championship. He was playing low-level championship football and even League One football for Rotherham United. Now he's a Premier League centre half. How times have changed. Next is Fulham. One thing they should do. Why do I keep grabbing the TV remote? Okay, that's Fulham. One thing that Fulham should do. Oh my God, that's gonna fall again. Is it? Okay, done. One thing they should do is try and get Alphonse Sariola on a permanent deal. Look at that. It's unlikely that they will. Okay, but they should at least try. He's a good goalkeeper, and yeah, he's European, proven. One thing they shouldn't do is sack Scott Parker. He got them to the Premier League. Just don't sack him. Just don't sack him. Right, Brighton. One thing that... Oh, no, sorry. One player that surprised me from Fulham. This is in a bad way. Alexander Mitrovic. Just don't feel like he's been as good this season as he can be. Alright, Brighton. One thing that Brighton need to do... Not a lot you can say about Brighton, really, is there? I suppose you could say the one thing that Brighton really need to do is improve their home form. Is it the home form that's bad or their away form? I think it's the home form. They need to improve it. They really do. And if it's their away form, then that. One thing they don't need to do is sack Graham Potter. However, one player that's really surprised me this season from Brighton, and I think we'll all agree on this, is Tariq Lamptey. What is he? 19, 20 years of age? Literally just signed from Chelsea. Look at him. He's already been linked with moves to teams like Arsenal. Right, Burnley. Why is that falling again? One thing that Burnley absolutely have to do is keep Nick Pope in goal. Don't sign another goalkeeper. Maybe get a backup, but just keep Nick Pope in goal. Or you could say maybe sign a younger right back. That's not really essential. And then one thing that Burnley shouldn't do. It's hard to talk about that. I suppose one thing that Burnley perhaps shouldn't do is keep playing players who are underperforming. People like Ashley Barnes, for example. Just don't. Right, Newcastle. One thing they need to do, in my opinion, is keep playing Carl Darlow. Just look how good he's been playing. Look how good he's been playing. I know Dubravka's the number one, but Darlow has been amazing. One thing that Newcastle shouldn't do is sack Steve Bruce. Yeah, I know he might not be popular among the Newcastle community, but he is keeping you in the Premier League. And the player that surprised me the most from Newcastle this season is Carl Darlow. I suppose one thing you could say Newcastle shouldn't do is keep Joel Linton. But I suppose Steve Bruce has still got a little bit of faith that he can turn it around. But this is coming from the man who didn't rate Edin Dzeko. Literally, Steve Bruce didn't even rate Edin Dzeko. 14 in the Premier League table at the moment is Crystal Palace. One thing they have to do is stop conceding so many goals. One thing they should not do is let go of Wilfried Zaha. And their most surprising player this season has been Eberechi Eze, or however you pronounce it. He's just signed from QPR in the Championship. They're a mid-table Championship side. But Eze has easily been their second best player. Easily. After Zaha, obviously. Wow. Arsenal. Now, there's not a lot I can say about Arsenal because it looks like they're starting to turn it around. However, if they go on another losing run, the one thing that Arsenal absolutely have to do is get rid of Mikel Arteta. If this happens again, he has to go. Arsenal fans want him gone. Other people are starting to see that he should be gone. I'm surprised he's not gone already. One thing that Arsenal shouldn't do, I was going to say, sell Bukayo Saka, like they shouldn't say him. They shouldn't do that, obviously. What I'm going to say is, they shouldn't waste Mesut Ozil's career anymore. Let him go. Let Ozil go. One thing that Arsenal shouldn't do is keep Mesut Ozil. Just either play him or let him go. Okay, it's quite clear that you're not going to use him. So just let him go. Right, Wolves. One thing that they absolutely have to do is keep João Moutinho in midfield. He's a leader. He's a veteran. I know he's not the captain, but he acts like one. He's a veteran. He's a goal scorer. He's a creator. He can defend. He dictates that midfield sometimes. João Moutinho, I'd say sometimes, can be Wolves' most important player. One thing that Wolves shouldn't do... Don't you dare fall. Don't you dare fall. Then... There we go. No, it's falling again. Oh my god. I think that one thing that Wolves shouldn't do is play Jimenez again, in my opinion. I think that skull fracture that he got, it's not a nice injury at all. You've got to remember, this is not just a head injury, this is a fracture. Okay, one big blow to the head and that could be fatal, alright? So that's one thing that I think that Wolves shouldn't do, is risk Jimenez again. Should he come back? I don't think he will anyway. Leeds United. One thing they absolutely have to do is keep showing faith in the younger players like Ian Poveda, Rafinha, etc. But one thing they shouldn't do is... Oh, I had it a minute ago. I literally had it a minute ago. One thing they shouldn't do is keep showing trust in Rodrigo. Okay? He's been terrible since he came in. He's got 2 goals or something like that? Patrick Bamford has been the man of the moment for Leeds. Right. Now we go on to... No, not Southampton. Now we go to West Ham. Oh, the most surprising... Oh, I forgot to do most surprising player for Arsenal, Wolves and Leeds. Most surprising player for Arsenal this season has been Bukayo Saka. Because he's just shone, hasn't he? Most surprising player for Wolves this season, I'd probably say, has been Daniel Podence or Pedro Neto, because they've just shown that they can do it at the top level. And I have to say, the most surprising player for Leeds United this season has probably been Rafinha, because he's just... Well, he's taking the mick, isn't he? My head's not even on screen, hold on. Is that better? I need to put my neck down. Okay, that's falling again. Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you, phone. Thank you. Right. Oh my God. West Ham. One thing they have to do. Oh my God. One thing they've got to do is start Ben Rama sometimes. You've got him on loan from Brentford. Stop putting him on the bench. He's a good player. He's already proven that he can do it. He just needs to score. He just needs to score. That's it. If he keeps coming off the bench late on, he's not going to do that really, is he? One thing that West Ham shouldn't do is sell Declan Rice. He's been linked with a move to Chelsea, where there's rumours that he would be converted to a centre back, which is not where Declan Rice plays. You can see that he likes to do. You can see that he likes to charge forward. You can see that he likes to drive with the ball. You can see that he likes to score goals. You can't do that as a centre half, contrary to what Kurt Zuma might believe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the Chelsea versus Ajax game, which ended 4-4. You'll understand then. Most surprising player for West Ham, I'd probably say, has been probably Lanzini, because of the fact that he's just come back into the side out of absolutely nowhere and ripped it up, basically. No. Well, who else has been really surprising for West Ham? Well, they've all been surprising in their own way. They've all played quite well this season. Bowen's been quite surprising. I think I'd probably have to say Lanzini then. Or Fornals, one of the two. Ninth is Southampton. One thing they absolutely have to do is play Danny Ings whenever he's fit, because he's a goal scorer. One thing that Southampton absolutely cannot do is replace Alex McCarthy or sack Ralph Hasenhüttl, because them two are very important to the club. And the most surprising player from Southampton this season, I'd probably say, has been Alex McCarthy, because of his saves, his just ridiculously good athleticism, etc. Now, Manchester City, one thing they absolutely have to do is stop splashing the cash on big names. Like, they splashed quite a lot of cash on Ruben Diaz. Didn't they spend quite a lot of money on someone else? I can't remember who it was. They spent, like, was it 500 million on defenders since Guardiola arrived? One thing that Manchester City should not do, however, is play Jesus over Aguero if he's fit. I think Aguero is a much better striker than Jesus, isn't he? He's more clinical. He might not be as quick as Jesus, but we've got to remember he is 32 years of age now. If this thing falls one more time, I swear to God. Oh my God. Okay. Most surprising... Oh, fuck's sake. Most surprising player this season from Manchester City has been Ferran Torres, and it's been because of how quickly he has adapted to the English game. How quickly he's adapted to the Premier League. He's done really well, Ferran, since he came over from, was it Valencia he played for? Now we move on to Tottenham. One thing they absolutely have to do is keep Kane and Son playing together. Something you might not know is that Tottenham are winless in their last 4 Premier League games. They haven't won any of their last 4, losing 2 of them, by the way. They drew with Wolves, they lost to Leicester and Liverpool, and they drew with Crystal Palace. So Tottenham have kind of come back down to reality. I think I got the Tottenham Wolves score right, didn't I? I think I said 1-1. One thing Tottenham absolutely cannot do. Probably keep Gareth Bale coming off the bench. He needs to start. He's not going to prove himself if he's coming off the bench every week. Most surprising player this season for Tottenham, I'd probably say... who would I say? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's easy to go for Kane or Son. But I'd probably have to say Højbjerg because of how he left Southampton to go for Champions League football. They're in the Europa League. But he's, for saying he's playing for a top 6 side, he's actually playing quite well. Is old Pierre-Emile. Sorry. I need to get my face on camera. Hold on. There we go. That's better. That's way better. Now Chelsea, one thing they absolutely need to do is whenever you play Timo Werner, play him in his natural position. He's a striker, not a left mid. Timo Werner needs to play as a striker. I get that you want to play Olivier Giroud through the middle or Tammy Abraham through the middle, but he's not a winger, Werner. He's a striker. As you saw when he was playing for Red Bull Leipzig, he's not a winger. One thing that they perhaps shouldn't do is put all of their trust into younger players. Like Kai Havertz, for example, is not adapted yet. That's why I'd much rather... I would see Chelsea having a midfield three of Jorginho, Mount and Kante, having an attacking three of Werner, Ziyech and Abraham or Giroud. Get Havertz coming off the bench. He will adapt eventually. He will adapt. He just hasn't yet. And it's the same situation with a player that I've mentioned earlier. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Werner, actually. Werner's not adapted, has he? But okay, most surprising player from Chelsea. I'd probably have to say Edouard Mendy. I wasn't expecting him to be as good as he was. But he has done well, Edouard Mendy. You can see the difference between him and Kepa, can't you? Aston Villa. One thing they need to do, easy. Keep hold of Jack Grealish. They're trying to... I think they were trying to get him on a new 5-year deal, which would keep him at the club until he's 30 years old. There's always one player who stays at a lower club or plays for a lower club because there might be too much pressure if they go to a bigger club. They might be injury prone. So that's players like Jack Grealish. That's players like Danny Ings, for example. Dominic Solanke as well. The one thing that Villa absolutely shouldn't do, however... The only thing I can think of that Villa shouldn't do is take Ollie Watkins out of the team if Wesley returns from injury anytime soon. Have they even still got Wesley? I haven't seen him play for absolutely ages. Hang on, let me check the latest on Wesley. Hold on, Wesley. I need to refresh my internet. Wesley. Okay. Aston Villa striker Wesley reveals what Dean Smith has told him ahead of his return. So he is returning from injury. What has he said? Okay, I'll have a look at that off camera. The one player that surprised me from Aston Villa this season is Jack Grealish. I didn't expect him to step up as much as he has done. I knew he was a good player anyway. Okay, my tab has crashed. No, it hasn't. Okay. I didn't expect him to step up as much as he has done. And then I could say Emi Martinez as well, though. Right, Everton. Oh my god. Are we sorted now? Are we sorted? Good. One thing that Everton should not do, in my opinion. Okay, weird. One thing they shouldn't do is sell Calvert-Lewin. Definitely keep him. Definitely keep Calvert-Lewin. So they shouldn't sell Calvert-Lewin. Keep him. One thing they should do. But one thing they should do. If I said they should, I meant they shouldn't sell him. If that's what I said. I'm sorry. And one thing that Everton absolutely should not do. Should do. Is perhaps drop Alex Iwobi. I don't know. either, can you? I don't know about anything Everton should do. Maybe just stay consistent. Because they're already doing loads. They don't really need any reinforcements. Be consistent is all I can say. Leicester. One thing they need to do is stop relying on Jamie Vardy. If he gets injured again, they haven't got a reliable backup striker. Iheanacho is good, but he's not Vardy's level. They need to stop relying on him, and another thing they could probably do is go out and buy a better backup striker, or hope that Iheanacho steps up. One thing that Leicester should not do is replace Kasper Schmeichel at this point in time. Yeah, I know he's 34, but a goalkeeper being like 34 or 35 doesn't mean anything, right? Goalkeepers could probably play till they're 42. No one in particular, Buffon. But, yeah. One player that surprised me... Oh, I forgot to do one player that surprised me from Everton, didn't I? One player that surprised me from Everton was... I'll probably have to say Calvert-Lewin for how much he stepped up. And one player that surprised me from Leicester... Is that going to stay like that? Is that going to stay like that? Is that going to stay like that? Good. One player that surprised me from Leicester is Wesley Fofana. He's playing amazing this season. He's only 20 years of age. Didn't expect him to be a first-team regular. I thought he was just going to come and be a backup for Sionchu and Evans. Sionchu got injured, so Fofana came into the team, and he's done amazing since then. Man United. One player that surprised me for Manchester United this season. Actually, I'll do that in a minute. One thing that Manchester United absolutely have to do is play Cavani over Martial. I'm sorry, but Martial he's taking a dip, isn't he? Edinson Cavani is easily a better striker than Martial. He's more consistent. Yeah, I know he's 33 years of age, but Cavani needs to play. One thing that Manchester United shouldn't do is make Bruno Fernandes their captain. I know that they've been talking about doing that. Or Manchester United fans want that to happen. Hear me out. Making Bruno Fernandes your captain is only going to put more pressure on your most consistent player. This keeps falling again. Making Bruno Fernandes your captain, if he feels the pressure, can make him dip. Yes, I know you definitely need a new captain, because Harry Maguire is not a good captain. I'm sorry to break it to you. But I just don't think you should be making Bruno Fernandes your captain. And I thought the same thing about Manchester City and Kevin De Bruyne. An ideal replacement, an ideal captain for Manchester United would probably be someone who is United born and bred. Not Greenwood, Rashford. Rashford's probably your best bet. But I just don't think Bruno Fernandes is the right option. And then finally, one player that surprised me for Manchester United. I could just go for the easy route and say Bruno Fernandes. But, you know me, I don't like to do that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Keeps doing it again. There we go. Are we done? Are we done? Good. One player that surprised me for Manchester United is Edinson Cavani. I know that he's a good striker. Did I expect him to come in and score literally twice to give them the win against Southampton? No, I didn't. Did I expect him to be starting in the Premier League over their 25-year-old striker who should be fit and firing? No, I didn't. Cavani has been amazing since he went into Manchester United. I can't say he came in because that makes me sound like a United fan. Since he went to Manchester United, Cavani's been brilliant. And then finally, we've got my club. We've got Liverpool. One thing that I think Liverpool absolutely should do, one thing that we really have to do, is go out and buy a centre-back. We have to. I'm sorry, but we have to buy a centre-back. If we don't, we're just going to put far too much trust in our youth. People like Reece Williams and Nat Phillips might be okay for now, but when they come up against teams like Manchester City and Manchester United and stuff like that, they're gonna struggle. They're going to struggle. We need to do that swap deal. Origi, Kabak. Get that done. Now we've got a centre-half. We've got a backup striker. When he comes back from injury, we've got Diogo Jota. Minamino can play through the middle. That's one thing we need to do. One thing that we shouldn't do Play Adrian ever again? I'm not joking. No. I think one thing that we shouldn't do is rush Thiago back. There was rumours about whether he was going to be playing tonight. I don't think he will be. I honestly don't think he will be. Klopp won't want to risk him. He'll be playing off the bench at Southampton, and he'll start against Manchester United and probably score there. I don't know. But yeah, we shouldn't risk Thiago because we've waited so long for him to come back from injury. If we play him too soon and he gets injured again, could be out for even longer. And then one player that surprised me from Liverpool this season, and I don't think it's going to take a genius to work out who I'm going to say. We signed him from another Premier League side, another good Premier League side. Just a quick hint for you, and I'll give you a few seconds to guess. This team, the team that we signed him from, has a third kit that looks a little bit like the Portuguese national team. Yeah. Right. We signed him from Wolves. He's surprised me a lot this season. He scored 10 goals for us already, which is incredible. He scored a hat-trick on his second Champions League appearance. It is, of course, the one and only Diogo Jota. Most surprising player for Liverpool this season, without a shadow of a doubt. The only player that even comes close to being as surprising as Diogo Jota this season is Curtis Jones, because of how he's broken through into the first team. But I didn't expect Diogo Jota to come into Liverpool and play that well that quickly. I expected him to take time to settle, but no. He came off the bench on his Premier League debut and scored straight away. And yeah, he'd broken Sadio Mane's record, scoring in his first 4 home Premier League games. He either equalled it or broke it. I'm pretty sure he broke it. But yeah, that is it for this Premier League based video. It's a long one. It's 27 minutes. Wow. Alright. Well, I'm going to end up there just before my phone starts to overheat. Explode into a million pieces. So, that is it from me. And I will see you all shortly. Bye-bye.